alt season, it's been here for a while now, actually since the beginning of the year. Dominance of BTC has been sliding and sliding since the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. What did I say at the end of December in this live stream?
Yeah, it's an altcoin based stream because alt season is upon us. I mean, if you look at, top coins over the past 7 days, there's multiple other coins above Bitcoin. It is alt season right now. You just need to know where to look. If people say it's not alt season, they're lying. I mean, if you see Litecoin pumping more than Bitcoin, we're in an alt season.
Alt season was here. You just needed to know where to look. Well, let's look harder because it's time for Chico Crypto. Alt season, it began in late December, but not every coin back then was in the green and pumping like mad. You had to do more DYOR. It took more time. But the further you get into a season, the easier it becomes because almost every coin turns green. You could throw a dart at a spinning board of shat coins and come up with a winning portfolio. But it will only be a winning portfolio for as long as alt season lasts, and the coins will only continue to go up if we have another one. And if things are to be like the past, we are coming up on the final one of this cycle. So this means, like Johnny of Cobra Kai, we strike first and we strike hard. If alt season is here, we here at Chico Crypto are going to capitalize on it. So let's do some altcoin picks as it is the season. So number one, you guys should know I like xDai, and I like projects that are utilizing it to create the best usable projects. Well, there is another doing it, which makes me think it could do well in the short to mid term, and that is Bao Finance. So what is Bao? Well, it's not like the buns per se, but we can go to their docs and read their simple explainer. Their team says it's like SNX plus Aave, but for Uniswap, Sushiswap, and Balancer. And we can see what they plan to add to DeFi. Synthetic assets based on pool tokens from Uni, Sushi, and Balancer. Margin trading and limit orders to LP tokens. Lending pools, options, and more. And Bao actually stands for Balancing, Automation, and Options in ICY. So, the Bao man, the person behind this project, posted this tweet January 16th. I've posted the proposed plan for our Sushi partnership migration, our L2 integration, and our first product of soft index synthetics with a link to the blog. Users will be able to vote on approving the plan later this week. So let's dig into that blog, titled Bao V2, The Journey. They say, recently Bao forged a partnership with Sushiswap to build our synthetic issuance infrastructure using solely Sushi LP tokens. Ultimately, this means the need to make changes to either Bao's contracts that may be challenging or to migrate to a new version of Bao. After consulting with the community, I've decided to pursue a hybrid plan that will allow the users to choose between remaining in the current contract or migrating to a new one. So those sushi boys, the Yearn ecosystem, they tried to pull Bao fully in and make them work on their product exclusively on the Sushiswap protocol, leaving out Balancer and Uniswap, which if we go to their 2021 roadmap, Sushis, there is Bao listed as joining their establishment. So what they are building is pretty special if the Yearn ecosystem targeted it and want them exclusively with them. But it isn't up to them, it's up to the community. And this isn't a bad thing, the Sushi Gravity Pool. Let me explain why. Back in Bao's L2 Journey blog, they explained they're going to be using xDai as their L2 solution. They will have a farmer contract on xDai powered by Bao coupons on xDai, redeemable 1-to-1 on the Ethereum main chain. But the big one, we will also launch Bao baskets on xDai. This will be Bao's modified fork of Balancer, which will be used to create what we call soft synthetics, more commonly known as indexes. This balancing product needs to exist for us to build full synthetics on the xDai chain in the future. And they are ready to get most of this launched. The blog states in the timeline, given this, I expect it will be roughly 1 more month of testing for us to be ready, and then 1 to 2 weeks to deploy. So I would ideally like to deploy us to the xDai chain by roughly the end of February. but we may be able to do sooner if everything runs smoothly. Why is this importante? All this xDai moves and being ready. Well, remember, Sushiswap was saved by a savior, Sam Bankman-Fried. Sushiswap could have went kaput in September if Bankman didn't step in. Bankman is also behind Serum, the DEX and swapping protocol built on top of Solana. Well, let's just go back to the Bao documentation, what they said about their V2 and L2 plans. Due to the high gas fees on our contract, Bao intends to build a V2 that integrates an L2, ideally an L2 system that can have multi-chain ecosystem support. The current plan is to build this on Serum, which supports ETH and Sol. They were planning to build on Serum, aka Solana. Well, go back to their V2 Journey blog. What do they say? But we chose xDai because it's the easiest L2 to use. Using xDai is just like using an Ethereum test network. You will be able to switch your MetaMask to the xDai network and use it right away with no additional tools. Serum and Solana obviously isn't ready, while xDai is. But why else do I think this is going to be a good play? Well, L2 and working products is huge. Perpetual Protocol is a prime example of that. Hype is strong with Perpetual, even Jeremy Allaire of Circle, and that behind USDC tweeted about it. And then Perp, it got down to a $10 million market cap before the product was out. What happened after it launched? Showing now has over 100 million. So what's Bao's market cap? Well, initial hype got it to over 6 million, but it settled down and as of yesterday was around 3 million. And I'm not the only one who is eyeing Bao. Adam Cochran, data analyst and partner at Sinahane Ventures, tweeted in response to Grammy Award-winning artist Rack asking about shilling moon coins. He said, Bao Finance making sense. Sushiswap is to Uniswap as Bao is to SNX. Low market cap, early and farmable. Now, this next pick is sponsored, but I'm trying to get sponsors from projects I like, and this is one of them. And like always, the full details of our agreement can be found in the description. And that project is the DFO Hub. What? DFOs? What are those? Well, they're decentralized flexible organizations. DFOs are Ethereum-based research and development projects. They're on-chain companies with proprietary assets and voting tokens as programmable equities. So DFOs are enhanced versions of DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. And if you look at the stats of DAOs lately, from the stat site DeepDAO, you get the hype. Stats are only increasing month after month in terms of volume and users. DAOs, they have much hype now, but I think DFOs are just around the corner. And why do I think this? Well, DFO Hub is built and ready to go. So first, what does it provide? Well, the big selling point is microservices on Ethereum. These microservices are just that, pre-built smart contract Lego blocks, created, enhanced, and upgraded by the DFO base layer. DAOs and organizations can use these microservices to more easily spin up decentralized applications. In fact, using DFO, the first step to start building a dAPP is to deploy the DAO side with the voting token information and the voting rules. So let's dive right into their hub. As I said, it's built and it's ready to go. Launching the DFO base layer is simple. dAPP launches, and of course you need MetaMask as the DFOs are Ethereum based. Once in, we can see there are many DFOs already built, and it shows their start block, the number of functions, aka microservices it employs, the DFO's ENS, Ethereum name service address, the token symbol, as well as its actual Ether address. Clicking into a DFO, for an example, the base layer DFO, it breaks it down further. It has an explainer of the organization, the voting token, all the links, all the details, including core, front end, and more, and the rules and funds at the bottom. Now, they track the asset balances of the DFOs, and for the DFO Hub, it's slowly working its way up, getting close to 20 million in tracked assets with just their DFO Hub. That isn't including the many other DFOs and their asset balances. It's a higher total AUM, probably closer to 30 million. Now, look at the market cap of DFO's token build, under 3 million as of yesterday. And this is just the beginning of DFOs, especially when it's this simple to create one. This is just an example, not a real DFO. Just click New. You pick your DFO ENS name. Chico Crypto is ready. Next page, you set your voting token info. Chico Crypto DFO is a name. Chico is a symbol, and supply is 1 million tokens. Then you set the rules of your DFO, aka the governance. Survey and proposals can have the length set. You can set the minimum staking number for proposals, and you can lock tokens for programs like liquidity mining. There are even advanced rules and emergency governance rules with penalties. And then the next page is the DFO information, like bio pictures, token pictures, links to websites, and more. And then finally, you simply create it. Confirm transactions with MetaMask. It does cost Ethereum to create with high fees. Only create one if you're sure. And with all the green checks, a DFO has been created. Simplicity is what Chico likes, and simplicity is what DFO has. And if that's something you like too, the links for their website and the DFO Builder dAPP are below. So how are we going to finish up this episode? Well, with a cryptocurrency many have thunk I've forgotten about. That is iExec eRLC. Why iExec? Well, they have something coming in just 11 days. The eRLC public swap offering, which begins February 1st. From the website for the swap offering, iExec says, iExec obtained a visa from the AMF, the French equivalent of the SEC, for its new enterprise marketplace token swap offering, allowing enterprises to exchange cloud resources in a regulated and compliant environment. The enterprise adoption facilitated by the AMF visa will also benefit the iExec eRLC token economics. So to me, this means in under 2 weeks, the enterprise marketplace is going live, as enterprises will be allowed to exchange cloud resources with eRLC tokens. The demand for the marketplace is going to be seen come February 1st. Now here's what's interesting to me. In just 6 days, January 26th, iExec is having a tech talk with some highly interesting characters. The title of the talk, Trusted Execution Environments, featuring iExec, Intel SGX, and Kaleido, with 4 speakers from Intel, Kaleido, and iExec. But one thing they leave out is each and every one of these speakers, besides the host, is directly involved with Hyperledger Avalon. As we can see, speaking at the Kaleido event is John Charles of iExec. Here he is, contributor to Avalon, originally the trusted compute specification. Then Eugene Yarmash, Intel, speaking, and also contributor to Avalon. And finally, Jim Zhang, Kaleido, speaking, and also a contributor to Avalon. But when you relate this to what Kaleido is, you get what might be going on. So what is Kaleido? Well, their website tells us it's enterprise blockchains, and they work with big partners, big banks, telecom, even Comgo, the major blockchain consortium for trade finance, its enterprises, and how they are building their dApps and own blockchains. Will these enterprises and their dApps be some of iExec's marketplace customers? Chico thinks so. Cheers, I'll see you next time.